The daily put-call ratio on United Airlines peaked at more than 25-to-1 on September 6th. And the volume of put options at 2,000 contracts that day was 285 times the norm. Put option volume on American Airlines was 60 times the daily average on September 10. And according to all sources, there was no other event to explain these anomalies. Insider trading is suspected by 5 criteria. The timing is too good, or the pattern deviates too much from normal levels, or the transactions are too specific, too large, or too speculative. The timing was too good, just before 9/11. True, 2001 was a rough year for airlines, but the suspicious trades occurred specifically in the week prior to the attacks. The transactions deviated drastically from normal trading levels, enormously in the case of United Airlines. The transactions were too specific. They were on airlines, especially those airlines actually used in the attacks, and other companies specifically harmed by the attacks. At least one transaction was too large. According to the 9/11 Commission report, 95% of the September 6th put options on United came from a single source, and the transactions were certainly too speculative, because there were no other events of interest to these companies that would have suddenly affected their stock value at that time. 5 out of 5 signs of insider trading are present, yet the most obvious conclusion is resisted. The 9/11 Commission report offered no explanation why all 5 signs of insider trading were present: timing, variance, specificity, volume, and speculation, except to say that everything turned up benign, without presenting any evidence to support that claim. The second problem with the paper is that it ignores obvious evidence of criminal behavior. It ignores the fact that the put options were never exercised. If the put options were purchased innocently, then why didn't these innocent traders exercise their options and enjoy the profit? It makes no sense. The drop in stock value on the companies in question made for the perfect conditions to profit from a put option. Instead, the cost of the put options was taken as a loss. That is nothing if not a sign of guilty conscience. And third, the paper makes foolish assumptions of insider traders. What the paper does is it claims that an inside trader would be more inclined to place a short-term put than a long-term put, because a short-term put option on a stock that's expected to take a one-time sudden plunge would be more profitable than a long-term put. Because the put options placed on companies impacted by 9/11 were of longer term, the paper argues that they are less significant than short-term puts would be. This seems reasonable to assume that inside traders are interested in maximizing profits. But in a criminal investigation of events of September 11, is it really safe to assume, in the face of all the evidence to the contrary, that insider trading did not take place just because it was not done in the most profitable way? This raises a difficult question, however. If maximum profit was not the motive for the insider traders, then what was? The 9/11 Commission report highlights the importance of this question. The only detail of the trades that it reported at all was that the investor that bought 95% of the United put options also bought over 100,000 shares of American Airlines at the same time. What was the reason for betting against United yet buying American? If there was any explanation, the 9/11 Commission didn't mention it. We have a contradiction here. On one hand, trading took place with foreknowledge of 9/11, and yet it certainly wasn't done in the most profit-maximizing way. How do we explain this? Perhaps it was done for the purpose of plausible deniability. But why do it at all? Let's notice an important fact. People don't commit crimes unless they expect to get away with them. The people who committed the insider trading fully expected to get away with it, either because they didn't think anyone would notice it, or because they didn't think they could be caught. The event was September 11. Nobody could safely assume that insider trading would go unnoticed. Insider trading is a federal crime, investigated and prosecuted by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the FBI, and the Department of Justice. It doesn't matter how many fake names you use or what shell companies you work through. If you are profiting off the September 11 airline stocks and the United States of America has predictably made a promise to track you down, you should expect to be caught. Instead, the government brushed off this powerful evidence of foreknowledge in the attacks, saying that at least one inside trader had no conceivable ties to Al-Qaeda. If insider trading took place, whoever did it was certainly involved in the 9/11 plot, did not expect to be caught, and was not caught. Whoever committed the insider trading had to know that they were above federal investigation. Yet they never collected the profits. Why not? And if they were going to inside trade, expecting to get away with it, why did they not invest in the most profit-maximizing way? And let's remember, regardless of the official story, the insider trading was exposed. The 9/11 cover-up has been exposed. The evidence of insider trading played a powerful role in exposing the 9/11 cover-up. Were the people who masterminded 9/11 really so naive and stupid that they jeopardized the whole operation just to make a few extra dollars? It's hard to believe that the people who masterminded 9/11 are stupid. It's hard to imagine they counted on 9/11 research being ignored as easily as research into less monumental cover-ups. Why would anybody dare make suspicious trades on stocks that would be affected by 9/11? Pretend you are the grand mastermind of 9/11. Just the most diabolical bastard on the planet. You have the power to manipulate media, carry out assassinations of people you don't like. You rule by secrecy. How would you, mastermind of 9/11, look at the insider trading surrounding 9/11? You made almost nothing off the profits. Remember, millions mean much less to the elites behind 9/11 than they do to you or me. So why would you do something that did so much to discredit your own frame-up? This is a serious contradiction here. The people who committed the insider trading fully expected to get away with profiteering off the crime of the century. On the other hand, the people who committed the insider trading created powerful evidence that 9/11 was an inside job and didn't even try to make much profit from the trades. We cannot ignore this contradiction. Given that insider trading took place, and given that it was done by those so close to the plot as to know the airlines to be used, why would they put this contradiction into the official story? The insider trading represents a clear case of bizarre, seemingly deliberate self-incrimination on the part of the people who committed 9/11. The people who committed 9/11 were not so stupid as to take such a